Here's some red flags or things I want you to look for if you work in a hotel to be able to identify children that are being trafficked and exploited. My name is Kim. I survived 20 years of cult abuse, including child trafficking, as well as many other forms of abuse that you can't handle. Now I train law enforcement to be able to correctly identify children who are victimized, as well as actually be helpful. So there's a lot of trauma-informed strategies that I teach people to be able to spot the real victims, but also be able to actually help. And I'm not asking you to do anything dangerous or even heroic. I'm asking everyone to do something to be part of the solution. So thank you for being willing to be aware. So let's talk about some of the things that people who work in hotels will be likely to see due to the fact that traffickers often move around a lot. Often, hotels, motels, etc. can be places where you're likely to encounter this type of activity. So while I'm going to tell you some of these red flags, I also want you to know there's not one way that children who are being exploited or trafficked will ever look. I can't give you a one-size-fits-all solution because it's not a one-size-fits-all problem. However, it's generally going to start with something that seems off. I'm going to tell you some of those red flags, but I want you to realize it's not going to be as obvious as you and I would like it to be. It's probably going to start with a gut instinct. Something's off here. I want you to pay attention to that. I want you to look closer. I also want you to ask questions when you're able. So, for example, if you see an adult or some adults with kids and they don't seem like they belong together and the kid seems pretty uncomfortable, realize we're looking for patterns, not just one thing, right? So the kid might be very uncomfortable, very fearful, very stiff, frigid body language. They might be very groggy. They might look like they don't really know where they're at or just unaware of their surroundings. They might look very sleep deprived. They might be inappropriately dressed, either for the weather or for their age. They could be wearing makeup that seems inappropriate. There's a lot of red flags, and again, we are looking for patterns. So let's say you see a situation and it seems off, but you're not sure what's happening. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to play dumb and ask questions. So let's say these people are checking in and they're paying only with cash and they're being a little shifty-eyed and awkward, and there's a kid that seems uncomfortable and doesn't seem to belong with these adults. Play dumb. Ask questions. What you're doing is getting a closer look and you're collecting data. So not only would you be able to get a closer look and a better description of these people, what they're wearing, where they seem to be going, but you can play dumb and ask some questions, right? I want you to approach in a non-threatening way. I want you to ask totally normal questions that would not set off any normal, safe adults, right? So things like, oh, are you guys doing anything fun this weekend? What'd you guys do today? Did you see this festival that's in town? Hey, do you guys know that there's a really good pizza place around the corner? Ask a totally normal question that the child and adult would typically respond to in a normal way, and I want you to gauge their response. Are they responding in a normal way? Does the adult allow the child to speak? Does the child reply in a normal way a child would at their age? Now, if they don't, that's where I want you to keep asking questions. What you're doing is understanding